favorite girl, Aybriel BTV. If you're new here, welcome to my YouTube channel where we're transitioning from talking about everything down and dirty, which is my baby. I love my business down to my heart, but now we're gonna talk about my life abroad. Oh yeah, I didn't tell y'all, I moved across the country in less than 30 days. So let's get into it. Grab your popcorn and let's talk about the story time. So it all happened around my 30th birthday, okay? June 14th, 2025. Yes, your girl is 30. I look good. It all happened around there. So let's back up a little bit. I was just about to complete a year of therapy. So I was getting over a relationship I was in for 7 years. So I was just going through therapy, just healed, seeing the other side. I finally found community and I was working out consistently 4 to 5 days a week at 5 a.m. I was just like, I was in my groove. I was making the most money I've ever made in my entire life. I was making over 160K a year. And I was just thriving, like my life was thriving, but I felt like something was missing. I was like, what's going on? Like, what's happening, God? Like, I need something new. Like, I need you to change my surroundings. Like, I have all these things, but something is off. So I had been praying that prayer for a little bit, and just like that, baby, on my 30th, like a few days leading up to my 30th birthday, I was going to Brazil with my girls. That's a whole nother story. We're gonna get into that. But leading up to my 30th birthday, God was like, yeah, it's time. And I was like, what do you mean? Lost both of the jobs, because I worked in 2 jobs at that time on 2 different time zones. So I was stacking that bread. Lost both of the jobs, and my dog of 17 years just died. Like he got really sick, and it was just time to put him down. And I was like, hold up, like what's happening right now? And then I was supposed to go to Brazil for my 30th birthday, and I ended up almost missing. I literally flew into Brazil the day of my birthday because they would not let me in because my visa didn't come in time, and I applied before everybody. It was a group trip. Everybody was celebrating my birthday but me. So I'm over here sitting like, God, what are you talking about? Like, and I didn't think nothing of it. I'm like, okay, you know, life is happening. The seasons are changing. You know, with anything else, we're going to roll with the punches and we're going to figure it out. When I tell y'all, God was like, girl, no, you're moving across the country in 30 days. Start packing your bag. My lease was coming to an end. I was like, I don't know, God, like it's not really what I want to do. Like I got to leave my family and friends. Like I'm scared. I've traveled the world, but I've always been with people. I've never solo traveled. Like, are you sure you're calling me to do this? So when I tell you, I heard God loud and clear. I always fast. So I'll talk about that in another video as well about fasting. So I do fasting. I do the 21 days prayer and fasting. And then I typically fast throughout the year just to hear God's word, his direction, and what he's calling me to do in my life. And so I was fasting, and God was like, yeah, yes, he was speaking clearly, like, this is where you're going, this is what you're doing. And I'm like, wait, I haven't been working for 6 months, God. I don't have the finances. Like, I'm scared. And like, when I tell you, when God tells you to move, you need to move scared. You need to move without any direction, because if he already gave you the vision, he's going to give you the plan. You get what I'm saying? I remember writing this vision down like years ago, like, oh my gosh, I want to backpack Southeast Asia. But I was so scared. Like, fear was taking over. It was so many things just happening in my life, and I was just like, yeah, like I don't think that's right. Sorry, guy. And God was like, no, you're moving abroad in less than 30 days. When I tell you, just with all those things happening, and then I ended up going to therapy, kind of talking about therapy, and it was just so many confirmations like, yeah, you're moving abroad in less than 30 days. And I was like, all right, cool. When I tell you, I went home and I started packing, y'all. Like, I started packing, inviting people over to pack. Like, I didn't even tell nobody I really moved. They thinking I'm just moving out my apartment, that I'm just going to another place, because I was so on the fence about what God told me, even though I know he told me that, but I was so on the fence about it. I was fighting him every single step of the way. Like, I don't really want to do this. Like, yeah, there's some things happening in my life right now that aren't going the way as planned, but overall I have a really good life, God. Like, why are you doing this? He was like, let's do it. So I started packing, y'all. I was crying, bawling my eyes out like every other night. Nobody knew, because it's just like this big secret. So I'm just literally bawling my eyes out, trusting God, but I'm moving. Like, when I tell you, when God gives you a word, all he needs you to do is move. Like, I just need you to take the steps. I'll figure out the rest. So I'm like, all right, bet. So I'm packing, inviting my friends over. We're packing, we're getting our life together. And I remember I told them like 2.5 weeks before I was asking, I was like, I'm moving to Thailand. They were like, what? I didn't talk it out. I'm like, I'm moving to Thailand. And I didn't even have a going away party. It was so sudden. Like, I was like, nope, book that one-way ticket to Bangkok, Thailand now. I was like, all right, I surrender, God. Like, this is exactly what I'm gonna do. And when I tell you, I moved to Bangkok, Thailand with absolutely no plan, no vision, no understanding, just a yes from God. And I'm like, okay, let's figure it out. Do I advise that at home? Probably not, especially because I've never been to Asia in my entire life. However, I feel like a lot of the things that I learned along the way, like visas, I'm gonna do a whole separate video about that, because that was one thing that literally I was like, you should have known this. So visas, cost of living, find an apartment, just so many different things that I wish I would have known. But it's been such a beautiful journey of God walking me through every step of the way, and literally showing, like, once you trust his word, he'll order your steps. So yeah, I am here in Bangkok, Thailand. I have made it, I have arrived. And overall, the journey so far it's been difficult. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think just the adjustment with the culture differences, missing home, just adapting to a new environment and literally navigating life has been different for me. I've had to learn so much about pivoting, and moving abroad is not for the weak. So once I got here, again, I'm like, God, I don't know what my plans are. Like, I just moved here. Okay, cool. It was a 24-hour flight from Atlanta, Georgia. I landed in Bangkok, Thailand. The next day I had a teaching interview, and then the next day I started. So I'm jet lagged, I'm tired, but I'm like, all right, God. I said, order my steps. And he's like, that's exactly what I'm doing. So I started teaching, so I started teaching English, math, and science for grades 1st, 2nd, and 4th grade. Be mindful, I've never been a teacher in my entire life. And I don't really see kids often. A lot of my nieces and nephews, I don't have nieces and nephews, let me get that right. A lot of my cousins' children and things like that, they're a little bit older, so I've never really been around kids. So I'm like, this should be interesting. Let's get into this. So teaching was a journey itself. I'll show you guys a few clips of how that happened, and the journey so far has been interesting. It's taught me so much about pivoting. It's taught me so much about literally trusting my own intuition, moving when God says move, doing things like this, like if God put something in my heart, doing it suddenly. So I just wanted to share with you guys my journey abroad. This is going to be a beautiful journey ahead. And my goal here is just to really see who God has called me to be over these next 12 months. Now, I don't know how long I'm gonna be in Thailand. I don't know if I'm gonna be here a year, 2 years, 6 months. Like, I don't really know what the vision and what God has for me. I don't know. I just packed my suitcases and I'm here. But I am here to tell you that I am going to travel around the world for these next 12 months. So I'll be visiting different countries. I'll be giving you raw takes on what I feel about the country, if I like it, if I don't like it, things that I wish I would have known. I will be giving you more about like visa updates. So I really want to inform people that are looking to move abroad and don't know where to go. How do I take the first step? What it is. What am I supposed to be doing? Is God calling me to do this? So I'll be just giving you guys tidbits on what to do, and of course following me along my journey. It's going to be a beautiful journey. We don't know what's up ahead, but we know we can't go back, okay? So stay focused. We don't know let's try that again. We don't know what's up ahead, but we can't go back, okay? There we go. We said it perfectly then. So subscribe, like, and comment, and I'll be dropping videos every Monday and Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, so look at your calendar, look at your clock. EST, 6 p.m. EST every Monday and Thursday. All right, guys.